So we're going to start on a set which I've never actually seen before. I'm going to end up pausing the video. No, I'll just go for a walk and edit this bit out. So it's one of these swish looking front splittable Albrecht AE6790s. Now, I've never seen one before, and I bought this about 6 months ago off eBay. Not a lot of money, but these were ever so expensive, like £169, perhaps even £229. So what, it's about 2014, isn't it? So I think we need to unsplit it. Not that it makes any difference. Take some of these accessories off for me to lose. So it is my set. I've got no service manual. Most of the Albrecht sets we have got service manuals for, and I've been disappointed every single time with these more expensive Albrecht sets. The way they're set up, we seem to be able to get somewhere with them, but they seem to come out of the factory well out. Serial number 15. So let's take that umbilical cord away. We have got quite a few videos started, but not been able to finish any of them, so it ends up like we're not doing anything. Hello, where's that come from? Right, that brings us down to the power lead, which has been joined. I think we'll unjoin that. There'll be some cutters somewhere. Yeah, I don't want a fag lighter plug on the end. Not that I'm cutting it off for that reason, but it is too long and it's clearly been lengthened, and you just don't quite know whether it's been done brilliantly or not. I don't want to announce saying these sets only do 2 watts when it's actually being starved of power. So we're definitely going to go through this as it's come, because so my experience has been, they've not been set up too brilliantly in the past of any of this kind of range at that time. I think it was about 2014. Right, we'll need to put the front on. Do you have to take something off? Or does that just bracket come off? So you've got to take that bracket off. I've no doubt this will all be in the instruction book. So I've just downloaded that instruction book, because with me buying this second hand off eBay, this particular one didn't come with one. So I don't think I paid an awful lot for it. I think it was probably £30 or something like that. No, it's still, the two still don't go together. The printer's decided to do it single-sided today. We're going to need to know how to put it into UK. Three-year warranty. 2011's the approval thing. Yep. I just wonder, yes, I think we've got to take this bracket off and then put these screws through what bit of case we've got left. And that nut, I expect. There we go. And put those two screws back. You have to make sure all these accessories go in a box, because we're going to want to keep the set together like this. Right, now it looks like a mobile set, doesn't it? Right, we'll connect the power, switch the test equipment on. You know what I don't see? I don't see a mic. Oh dear. Was that the elephant in the room that I hadn't noticed? We've got no mic. Okay. Looks like we're going to be making a mic up. It's a 246 pin plug. Does it tell us what those pins are? It does. Pin 1 is audio, pin 2 is receive, pin 3 is transmit, and pin 5 is the ground. So we ignore pin 4, which is up down, and we ignore pin 6, which is for when you want to use an amplified mic. Good. There's always something, isn't there? That's why it was cheap. Checks box. Nothing. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll see if it powers up at least. And it does, and it looks to me like it's on the EU set of UK set. So let's put something on our signal generator. It receives without a mic. Turn the squelch down. Now, again, it doesn't sound that hot on receive. It really doesn't. Let's plug the extension speaker in. We'll fill our form in a bit topsy-turvy. Turn the volume down for now, get a sheet. No idea what the date is. Let's put the 21st. It's probably the 19th. 120, 200, 15. So we're going to start with receive. Put picture in picture on. Is it anywhere near where we want it? No, it is now. Let's put the synad meter on. Poltergeist has moved the camera. It's 1 microvolt. Just 1 microvolt. If it does 20, it does for 2.3. Squelch to full. Look at the attenuator instead. It is 100 millivolts, which is a bit too tight. I want to be 100 microvolts. And threshold, let's turn the squelch, then the signal generator to standby. And turn the squelch down to threshold. Switch the signal generator back on. And it's a pretty lousy 4.4 microvolts for threshold. This is what I'm on about. You would think that a set this expensive would be really hot, and it's not. That rhymes. So what does it have? Let's put this back on S9. And it's showing, well, we don't know what it means, do we? We've got absolutely no idea what that means. It's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. That's okay. Come back, that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have one of those. Right. Well, we've made a start, haven't we? I better make myself a mic up. Hope we've got some 6-pin plugs. So 2 weeks later, we're back on the Albrecht. I've had a microphone plug come for it. We ran out of 6-pin ones. The pinout is clearly here in the instruction book. I downloaded this. You can download this. You can email me and I'll send it you. But there we go. 6790. Pin 1 is transmitted audio. Pin 2 is receive. Pin 3 is transmit. And pin 5 is ground. So on our mic that was white. On our mic that was black. On our mic that was red, and on our mic that's the bare wire, which of course I've put some sleeving on. So now we can actually go through our go through our sheet. So here we go. Are we on picture in picture? No, we're not. We are now, but it's in the wrong position. How about that? So I'm on the 3-watt scale on the test set. We're on channel 20 UK. Oh, it takes 1 second to go into transmit. There we are. Press and wait. You can tell it's a modern set. It's exactly 3 watts. But this isn't an up-down mic like you would have had, so I'll have to change the channels using the set. And we have 2.6 watts on channel 40. Quite like yesterday's G-call. And on channel 1, I have to change scales because we've got more. We've got 3.1 watt. I've got this the wrong way around, haven't I? 3.1, 2.6. And that's what you'd expect because they've optimized it for 80 channel operation. We're going to I want UK to work best. It's my setting. I'm only going to use it on UK. When we go, what we'll do when we test CEPT, and if we can do AM on this, which I think we can, what I'm going to do is we'll use a higher channel. To be fair, so although we're going to tune this for UK channels, it's not going to be far out at all if we use the upper 30s. That's just out of fairness. So low power it doesn't have because it's not a 2781 set. The transmit current, let's go back to channel 20. The transmit current is 1.1, which is reasonably okay for a modern set. 1.108. Deviation. Now it's meters, as you know, that it isn't right on this at the moment, but sometimes it is. Wallow. I don't think it is today. It says 0.7. We will check with that'll be done on the test set behind, which I can't show you. We're not going to be doing the VCO, and the frequency is absolutely spot on. Let's go over to the frequency counter. I'm not going to adjust it, even if it is adjustable. 27.79128. It should be 27.79125, and they drop with age, so that's good. So the RF meter, at the moment, when we key it up, can't even see it. It's so small. It doesn't have a scale full. And the S meter for 100 microvolts. Oh, we haven't even got the signal generator on yet. So we'll just set that to 27.79125, or somewhere around about. I'll do. So if we've got S9 on the signal generator, and it's showing 5 bars, which I don't think is good. Doing that. Oh, we've done this before. Right, we must have covered this in part 1. It's so long ago. Right, okay, so we'll open the setup. I think I'm going to switch the set off, if I know how. Oh, the knob falls off, does it? Yeah, on and off that little switch. Right, open it up. Mind you, I wouldn't be surprised if the transmitted audio isn't 0.7 kilohertz, because that would be typical of a badly set up new set. And every other of these we've ever done, of this series of Albrecht sets, have been really badly set up. And especially on deviation, transmitted power and receive sensitivity. Pull that void sticker off. We like voiding things like that. So they are nicely made. It's a plug-in speaker. If I can ever reach back down there and do that and plug it back in. But a decent sized modulation transformer for AM. Yeah, there are other techniques for doing AM that don't use a transformer, so don't always be put off when they don't have a transformer at all. The business radios I was working on in the 80s and 90s, most of the VHF radio schemes for taxis and small businesses were AM VHF. So you'd got the normal VHF high band 166, 171 megs type of frequency, but the sets were usually AM. And of course, when we got FM, everybody rejoiced, apart from the sluggishness, because most of them ended up having CTCSS as well, and you've got that half-second delay. So you say Roger, and you just get J. So what we're looking at here, well, the transmit line is obviously down there. The receive line is down here. The detector is going to be one of those two. And then we've got a plethora of presets that we haven't got the foggiest what they do. I think this is where we do a silly little diagram, and then we'll do a photo and transfer that information to a photo later. So we'll kind of just draw what it looks like. So we've got a plate there, we've got the transformer there, we've got, there's nothing in the PA there, output transistors there, there's a coil there with no core, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, they're going to be TX, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 1 down there, you've got the 2 crystals filters, you've got a filter there, you've got IF there, or detector, whatever it is. So we've got those, and then we've got a preset here. Got another little crystal there, got the CPU there, so we've got that preset, we've got that preset, we have a trimmer capacitor there, which is going to set the frequency, which I wasn't expecting that, so that's good. We've got preset there, and we've got a preset there. So Mr. 21, is that all the presets? That one, this is going to be a long video, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Just see if there's anything hidden. So we're going to now explore what these presets do. Now here's the thing. I would expect that's going to be AM modulation, because you've got all the audio stuff around there, and you remember you've got to generate for 4 watts of AM, you've got to have 4 watts of audio. So that's going to be there, I would think. I would expect that to be deviation. Is this a power regulator? Is this power? Or is that one? You know, so anyway, that's what we're going to explore. I can upset this, it doesn't matter. It's my set, it's not a customer's. But I can get back everything right that I upset, because I've got the test gear. It's probably the same innards as one of the others we saw, but you know, there we are. We'll explore this one. As I said, I wasn't able to find a service manual anywhere for this. So we're going to transmit. We'll switch the set back on. we're definitely on UK. Very noisy relay in this. So I'm wanting to peak the transmitter. So let's put the camera on there. These are quite tight, so you've got to make sure you've got the right trimmer. Wow, that's made a difference. We'll have to go onto the scale. So we're now at 3.1 watts. So the power will now be set with something else. Let's go for this one. No. Let's go for that one. It is that one. The radio will actually do about 4.2 if fully thrashed. So there we have it at 4 watts. So that's channel 20. Let's pop it onto one of the channels. Be nice if we can have it within 0.1 at the band extremes. It's 3.95 at channel 40. And channel 1. It's 4.05. Just out of interest, if we can put it onto CPT, see that button? No. No. Now I'm going to have to look how that's done. He doesn't even talk about FM. Talk about UK. So I think we've got to change the country code to actually go into CPT. I really do. Yeah. Right. We'll concentrate on UK and then we'll move across. So we came to the conclusion that that was TX power. So deviation, and although this meter's not working right, I can at least set it how I think, and then I'll verify it with the other test set. Just turn down the volume. So we've got 1.1 kilohertz deviation. So I'd expect it to be one of those. Not that one. It's that one. Wallow. So that I've got 2.2 to 2.5. So I'll write that in 2.2 to 2.5 kilohertz. And it was 0.7, it was that low. I mean, that's nearly as crummy as one of those swish looking Cobra 29s which come out like that. So I will verify it. Let's just check where we are with I did say I wasn't going to touch the frequency, but let's just see. Yeah, because the test set's still warming up, it's gone up. So we'll turn it down a fraction. It's going up whichever way I turn it. I'm going to have it at 2.4 toggling 2.5 because everything's still warming up, and it'll go up. So I'll put it at 27.79125 because it will be. So now, I don't think it's got an RF meter, it'll be a fake one. So we've got AM to find, which is, I think, is going to be that other one because it's in that section. So let's go over to receive. So we'll look at the oscilloscope, and let's go over to that. Poltergeist has moved that camera as well. So it's going to be one of those two. It's not that one. It's that one. And that was spot on. So that there's no numbering, you see, you just don't know where you are with any of this. Right, I'll turn down the volume a bit and we'll go over to the cyanide meter. And let's hope we can get a jolly sight better sensitivity than it's got at the moment. I've had a pile of really sensitive 1980s sets, and now I've got this. So we'll start with what I believe to be the front end. Massive improvement. I'm not going overboard with this because of it being 80 channel. No change on that one, that's right. I think that could be the AM detector. I'll just see whether it is doing anything on here. Doesn't appear to be. So there's the front end, that's one of the IFs. So that's now better. Let's see what we've got. So for 12 dB, we've now got 0.65. Just a bit more like it. We're now more like York 861 type of standard. For 10 dB, 0.56. And for 20 dB, is now 1.5. So that's dramatically improved. Now let's look at Squelch, because it was 44 microvolts before. I want it to be 100. this may have changed, so let's have a look. Let's put the attenuator on here. 3, 10, 30, 100. So I've got to determine now which is Squelch. So it could be that, because that's near. Could be that. It is that. Wow. And that's now 100 microvolts where I want it. Oh, good, we got one right. So, leaves us with that, that, and that. I still think that's going to be modulation. So, I've already forgotten which one was deviation. I didn't write it down. What a silly Billy. I think it was that one. Wah. No, it wasn't. Must have been that one. Wah. It's that one. So just making note of that. So that, I'm sure, is going to be S meter. So at the moment, well, now we're getting a different set of bars to what we had before, but I suppose because I fiddled with it. Yeah, so that one is the S meter. So one is to reduce the signal. I mean, what does it mean? I've set it to something like. So that only leaves us with that, which is going to be AM mod. So we've got 100 microvolts on Squelch. So let's now test it at the sensitive end. So turn the signal generator. Put it to standby, turn the Squelch down, set threshold, and switch the signal generator back on. .82, which is fine. Wow, what an improvement. It's going to work like a normal radio. Now we're going to have to faff about with this to do AM. So we'll get the book of faffs. It's a nice chatty instruction book. Turn the volume down. So press the MT button and press the up and down button and then press MT to confirm. So I'll try and put this the right way around so we can all see it. So MT, is it E? I think it's EU. Yeah. So it's gone into AM. So if we now go AM, FM, that's exactly what it does. Good. So I can do the deviation on 19. I don't need to change that because we're on a test set. Not deviation, modulation. Now the test set's working absolutely fine on AM, so I don't have to verify it with my other one behind me. So let's see where we are. So full scale deflection is 90%. We don't really want to be, certainly don't want to be taking it above 93%. Oh, and then you have to unplug the extension speaker. Wallow. I'm not in the right mode. I'm not tuned in. There we go. Wallow. So it's actually beyond. So just need to just adjust that a little bit. Wallow. It's about 93% at that. So we've got we've got full scale deflection, but it was, the trouble is if you go over much over 95, you're going to start with what we call squedging. So if you look at that on the oscilloscope, it's starting to square out the top of your sine wave, and with that you get immense interference. So there we go, that's done AM. I want to just check the AM detector because I think it's that one. So let's put it in. I'm going to change channel. It's easy if we put in channel 40, and out of interest, just see what power we've got on channel 40 AM. 4.05. Let's put that on the signal generator. 2779, 405, isn't it? 27.405. Right, 27405 on my signal generator. So AM, put the signal generator to AM. Plug the extension speaker back in. Discovered you got the volume far too high. So let's put the oscilloscope back on. So that should be AM detector. Just check that I'm remembering this right. Yeah, the FM one was the higher one. I think I'm right. Let's put a smaller signal on. Turn the squelch down. That's our peak. Good. But your sensitivity on AM is never going to be as good as FM. What we've got, just for interest, you've got 1.3 microvolts for 12 dB sine head. So I'm going to go to FM and we'll just see what look at the sensitivity. I've just said it's 1.3 for channel 40 AM. Let's go to FM. And the sine head on that channel, on FM, is 0.47 microvolts. So much more sensitivity, so therefore more range. Power. Let's go to channel 1. And the power on channel 1 is about 3.8 watts. And in AM, I've got to unplug the stupid extension speaker. He's about 3.8 watts. So there you go. So it's still well within, with me having optimised it on on the UK set of channels, it is still jolly good and a damn sight better than it came in, even at the right at the bottom end of the CEPT set of channels, which we will never use it on, other than on the air test demonstration. It's going to be a bit of a faff going from UK to CPT channels, but at least I've got the instruction book there. So I think that's covered absolutely everything on that, and it works very well. Right, we'll put the lid back on it. Just make sure we've filled all this in. So the RF meter isn't adjustable like a lot of the newer sets. Switches all work. I'll put 3/4. What can you do? What can you do? It just isn't calibrated. We'll do a photo before I start putting the lid on. Okay, so there's our picture. Transmit power, AM mod, FM detector, AM detector, front end. Those three, they transmit early stages. Squelch, S meter, deviation, and we've got the frequency set down there. There you have it. Time to put it back together. If I can get this, I'll turn the power off. Actually, at the power supply, I think. It's quite a decent sized speaker, certainly more than some. It looks like, yeah, it's 3 inch, isn't it? I may need the surgical scissors for this off Mr. Chippy's bench. I think that's in. Let's just check. Yep. Right, so I'll now amalgamate the two parts together and then hopefully you'll see one video. I'm not a lover of self-tappers. These are self-tappers as against machine screws that you normally have. So now I realise why I got it quite cheap on eBay. No mic. It's a dinky little mic, you'll have seen them before, with white buttons that light up. Right, we'll get it on the aerial, switch the test set off. Oh no, we've got to check the deviation on the other test set, and I've gone and put it back together. We want the country code for, it's going to be that, isn't it? UE. Now test, switch my test set off. I'll just check it that I'm on the right set of channels with me. Walkie-talkie. Testing 1 2.
212.
Right. Okay, so we'll just check the deviation. Oh, it's well over the top, that. Well over the top. I'm going to have to take the screws out. Okay, right, let's see where we are now. One and a Roger. It's one of those that takes half a second to start receiving after you've changed channel. Can't flick through the channels quickly. A Roger. No, anyway, we'll do an AM FM CPT UK on the air test. I'll just plug my extension speaker in. Ready. I'll leave it on during the day because it's only 10 o'clock in the morning as I do this. So this will be on all the time till 7:30. Thank you for watching Albrecht AE6790.